Good morning, everybody. Another day, another set of results from Southern Cross Gold. Today, we're talking about 7 drill holes from Apollo and Apollo East. They're the most easterly side of the project over the 1.4 kilometre trend that we've drilled today. And we've made it larger. We've drilled them furthest east than we ever have. There's some stonking results here again. Best new intersection of 36.6 meters at 6.5 grams per ton gold equivalent. So a very nice wide zone there in Apollo as one highlight result. Looking through the results, we had a result there at Apollo East. It was drilled 6 high-grade veins, 2 which were new in hole 202, and that had that highlight intersection of 36.6 meters that I just spoke to. That included 2.7 meters at 34 grams gold equivalent, which was made up of 18.4 grams gold and 6.5% antimony. So some very high antimony grades there as well. We also drilled hole 214, which was a very deep hole. It intersected 4 veins and 3 high-grade zones, 2 of which were not ever modelled before. So as we get more holes into these high-grade areas, basically, if we get 3 holes into a high-grade area, we can start to call it a high-grade domain rather than just a random hit somewhere. So in this case, 2 more veins were modelled from that hole. So we're finding and modelling and adding to the volume of this deposit and the grade by definition that we're subdomainin these high grades in the resource hole by hole, and I've mentioned that in the first 2 holes. So hole 214 had half a meter at 251.4 grams, so some very high grade gold there. That was made up of 232 grams gold and 8.1% antimony. There was a hell of a lot of other high grade hits up to 362 grams actually gold as well. So an amazingly high grade results. Then we drilled hole 217, and that was the shallowest hole that we've hit in Apollo East, and it extended the zone 100 meters higher than we ever have, because we made the discovery at Apollo East at great depths, and now we're chasing it up. Surprisingly, it's not the opposite the way you go, but we didn't know it sat there, and we found it as we were drilling Apollo deep to the side, about 60 or 70 meters to the side of it. So extending zones again. Lots of other results in this release. A very deep hole that was made 50 meters below the exploration target area at Apollo. So the deepest hole into Apollo. It didn't hit amazingly high grades. We got 1.3 at 4.5 grams there, but it hit a faulted block. So it was more so a control hole to show us where the rails of the ladder were, if you like. So we'll come back with further holes and be able to extend that zone down. So a very good control hole. A few other holes that were reported here, but amazingly strong results from Apollo and Apollo East, both in gold and in antimony, filling in, subdomaining high grades, finding new high grade zones and extending zones. So yet again, Sunday Creek delivers hole by hole. You've heard me say many times, we're not resting on our laurels here. There's a hell of a lot of work ongoing. There's 100 people at site now. We've got the box cut well formed now. We're about 4 or 5 meters from the base of the box cut. So that's looking like a very well engineered piece of dirt that now we've cut out. We've got 11 rigs. We've got 67 holes being processed and analysed, 11 in progress and 67 in total in the core shed or in the lab. In the core shed, we've only about 4,000 metres in a backlog, which is more or less about a week or so's drilling. So the guys in the core shed are keeping up, but lots of holes in the system with all those drill rigs turning. So stay tuned. There's always more coming from Southern Cross Gold.